Okay.
It's here in general chat. Miss Lolita asks, would anyone like a tour of my haunted house base? Haunted house in all caps.
Miss Lolita.
Sounds bad.
Sounds bad. It does. Is there a number associated with, I don't know, libertarian preoccupation with the age of consent? If there is, that's the passcode to the base.
Yeah. It's 1488.
Oh God.
So the absolute moral decline of the Libertarian Party is something I could go on about.
Well, put a pin in that, because I want to do my civic duty and talk about the most important debate, the third debate,
And possibly the last.
possibly the last.
I mean, we're running up on this. This is home stretch.
This is almost, this is
We're
it.
we're just a month out.
We're almost done. And hi, Squid.
Hello, Squid.
I am also, I mean, again, I almost made the bingo card. I did, but then I just didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. And I mean, Brent didn't even watch it because he's like, I don't know, possibly secretly a Canadian. I don't even know.
One of the Canadian infiltrators.
Like William Shatner, apparently. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Not even Shatner is American.
Snuck down here from Montreal.
But I am disappointed that there was no dog eating commentary. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, from what I understand, it was a not very entertaining, very kind of by the numbers debate.
If I had, like, I think that it was a draw. I think it was an honest to God tie. I was not expecting JD Vance to put his mask of sanity on. Like I just was not prepared. I wasn't, like, I thought there's no way that he's going to keep it together. I didn't even think that was an option, because he's such a, like, just a weird dude. And it was his most normal, and that was basically it. And I think that slipped up Walls at first. Like, I think in the first half, JD Vance did better, and in the second half, Walls did better. I mean, that is my.
He got him to stumble on the January 6th issue.
That was actually one of the specific things I wanted to bring up. I thought that was the best, and someone finally asked that schmarmy fuck, like, connecting that he's on the stage because Mike Pence wouldn't do what Donnie Boy wanted him to do.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, I realize the libs are just so enamored with saving democracy, except for, when it comes to, I don't know, expanding democracy or rights or anything like that. The idea, purely a Sorkin-esque idea of what democracy is. Yeah. But, like, I liked that he nailed him on that. And that was one of the one times, and he kind of didn't let up. He was like, I mean, I like that he flat out asked him the question. He was like, hey, he didn't answer it.
Yeah.
So I did like that. I'm going to lightning bolt these guys. Oh God, I fell in a hole, and it's on fire. That's extra bad. How is this guy not dead?
don't know.
That, and the other response by Walls that I really liked was his comment on, it was an exchange about guns, and it is the one time that I have heard a Democrat say, it's the guns.
Yeah.
And I don't, I am 43 years old, and I have never heard a Democrat like, I think it's the guns, stupid. Like, I've never heard that. And it, it was shrouded in a lot of like folksy, hey, I do pheasant hunting and that kind of stuff. And, that's fine, because I realize that he's not just talking to me, he's talking to everybody, or everybody that's listening. And some of them are like, that demon rat's going to take my guns.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, this acknowledgement of like, hey, it's the guns. Like, some percentage of this problem is flat out just the sheer number of guns.
Yeah.
So I did appreciate that. And that sounds like I feel like I'm sounding like I'm doing a lot of faint praise, but I actually do really like Tim Walz. Like, I like him. And I was gonna see, like, if you've heard this take. I feel like some of his kind of like nervousness and kind of just talking like a regular human, I feel like he's almost holding back what some of the stuff that he actually wants to say. Like, we're gonna do like I feel like that he wants to talk about the stuff that they did in Minnesota, but at the same time, like, Kamala's not really running on all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's it's like I almost feel like that time that Joe Biden came out for marriage equality before Obama was ready.
Oh yeah.
Even though that could have been totally staged.
Yeah. Let him test it.
Yeah. And
test the reaction.
Because it'll be a lot less it'll be less scary when it comes from the old white guy.
Yeah.
Who used to be against busing. So I mean I kind of feel like that he would be talking about like unions and vulture capitalists a lot more, while Kamala is cozying up for like Dick Cheney and Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
Like she's doing a real good job with like the ex-war criminal vote. So
the crucial war criminal vote.
Yeah. And he even made like a joke about that. He's like, it's like, we've got a coalition of Bernie Sanders, Dick Cheney, and Taylor Swift. So just everybody.
It's a true hanging out with Mr. Sinister at the Hellfire Club. Just hanging with Mr. Sinister.
Yep. We can just agree to disagree on
fundamental moral questions.
On the merits of skull shapes. So, and maybe like the only thing that really stood out was there was a point in time where JD Vance, like his first like big fuck up was like no fair. I thought no one was fact checking. Like he complained in real time, like, ref, you're not supposed to be reffing.
Yeah.
Which,
sounds very crybaby.
Yeah, the mask slipped a little bit there for a moment, and
yeah, you get these guys.
All right, I'm just.
Might as well. Fuck 'em.
Yeah. And that might be the extent of it. Oh shit! No, there was one other thing I wanted to mention to you. Did you hear about the first question out of the gate? The very first question.
I don't know. What was it?
Oh god, I'm gonna paraphrase, but it's one of those times where I would almost want to look up the direct quote because it's so monstrous. Basically, it was like, would you be in favor of a preemptive attack on Iran if you were like the last person in the room to talk about it? It was one of these, you're in the situation room with all the other war criminals, and are you gonna give the thumbs up for the emperor to bomb the enemies of the empire? And it was just, hi, I'm Tim Walls. Would
you approve the use of the Death Star?
Yes.
Against the unarmed planet of Alderaan.
I just couldn't help but think that this question made the corpse of John McCain just sport an erection. That's just because I don't know if you remember his hit single bomb 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 Iran.
Oh, I sure do.
Oh god. The perfectly flat ground near his headstone grew a small hill for a time due to his massive erection. God. So, yeah. Love the enlightened centrists' take on the empire. I loves it. So that, I don't know. That's about it. Other than that, I think Jess watched a little bit of it, and then she just kind of couldn't take it anymore. There was no way to top the dog walking that Kamala did on Trump.
Oh yeah.
There was just no. There's no fucking way.
It was definitely one for the history books.
It really.
For American presidential debates. Yeah.
To see someone's psychopathology and possible dementia on full display.
It's simultaneously a high watermark and a low watermark for American politics.
It's unprecedented. My favorite word.
Until we get to the point where they're literally just punching each other on stage.
I'll get behind that, honestly.
Which,
I want to kick it old school.
Give it time.
I want to kick it old school. I want presidential candidate Camacho. Whatever.
I was going to say, one day we'll get President Camacho. Candidates will just be up there shooting guns in the air.
Yes.
I own guns. I've got one now.
It's not I own guns. It's I'm carrying a gun right the fuck now.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Alright, I've still got more TV missions. Apparently television has a to-do list of murder. Alright. And the thing is, it's not going to matter because I'm relatively certain there's, the the vice presidential debate is not going to be, the thing that, tips it over.
Yeah, VP debates generally mean fuck all.
Yeah. I mean we'll go ahead.
Everyone has decided at this point, no matter what knuckleheads they drag out after every debate to say they're undecided voters.
I really feel like they should start doing instead of classifying undecided, they should just say, like, call them, I don't know, like, unhappy voters.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it goes into what, like, we were talking a bit about, like, last week. The whole, I'm begrudgingly voting for Kamala Harris, like, and it's like I'm voting for Tim Walz because I'm voting for harm reduction and I don't know. I hate to say the lesser of two evils, but, like, it's like even Jess, who in the past I have seemed, I think that she's been, like, more, I don't want to say easier to please, but less contrarian to me. And it's just like the world is in such a state of, like, it's just hearing the same kind of, like, pro-American empire war hawkery, like, well, all this went bad after October 7th or whatever, like the problems of Israel and Palestine occurred on that date, and it was because of beheading babies and you know, a rape campaign or something like that. Like, yeah, it's just
but
that.
This is all new.
Yeah. This just happened, like, and yeah, it's just it is the Democratic Party is a kinder, gentler machine gun hand. Like, I have no other way of putting that.
Yeah.
And
it's the beast and the smiler, man.
It is the beast and the smiler. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get like I want to get like an honorary PhD in political fuckery with transmetropolitan political discussion, political theory of beast smiler spectrum.
And every modern presidential candidate can be slotted into either the beast or the smiler.
Yeah.
And yeah, the kinder, gentler machine gun hand.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make pop culture references. I mean, I feel like it's as accurate as, like, the shit I hear on NPR. And maybe maybe this is as good as point of ever. Like, oh god, I've got two NPR stories that I want to share. One about space, and the other one about, like, I've determined that I don't like when NPR, like, I feel like I now see the parody of NPR, like, on full display.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that there is they just had their like, I'm trying to think, like, where they try to they try to raise money. It's like their donation drive.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And there's just kind of like this we know that NPR viewers are the most smarty pantsed viewers ever, and you make this all possible. And for whatever reason, like, that the last time that I heard their funding drive or whatever, it just came on was like, you're all just a bunch of like, you're enlightened centrists.
Yeah.
Talking about AI every fucking morning.
There's nothing the enlightened centrist likes more than to feel like they're smarter than everybody else.
Yes. And it was the day before the debate, and this NPR reporter, blah blah, he starts doing a rundown on. He was doing a story on J.D. Vance, and in true enlightened centrist fashion, they framed J.D. Vance not as a liar and a political opportunist, a chameleon in the form of a seemingly human man, but as this kind of almost misunderstood, like there's something that he wants to say, but he can't quite get it across. And I don't know if the reporter was being overly generous or making it ambiguous to not say this fucker that he makes shit up.
Yeah.
Like we can't really. Can we know the true J.D. Vance? Can we? And it's fucking absurd. Like this is how fascism occurs when liberal, you punch a fascist and a liberal bleeds. I mean, it was so infuriating. But the thing that I really want to talk about is, it's just, I feel like it's a symptom that says it all. Like he referred to J.D. Vance as a pugilist, and
okay,
yes, a
pugilist,
a pugilist, and I've determined that I hate that word. I learned that word playing X-Men, the Next Dimension, which was a Street Fighter PlayStation-esque game where you got to play the X-Men. And when Beast whooped your ass, he said, "You're quite the pugilist." And Hank McCoy is the only person that I allow to say pugilist.
Yeah.
Because everybody else sounds pretentious.
And it's kind of one of those words, like, I don't know, why are you even using it? I mean, you're just using it as a substitute for fighter?
Yes.
Right.
Or like, you could say brawler, Donald Trump, like crusader, like there are other words that you can use, but it goes into the NPR. You took the GRE, like and it's just, and I came
There's
home.
something a little insufferable about it.
Yes, and it really does.
Kind of a faux intellectualism as well.
Or like an intellectualism that you're insecure about. It's like, my wife is hot. Here's a picture. Like, it's just this, like, it grades on me. And it really just go into that, like, I hate to say it, like, I don't know, East Coast liberal, like intellectual, like a smugness. It's like, real people don't talk like this. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I did eject. Like, I told Jess about this while she was getting ready for work, and I was like, and she rolled her eyes so hard I thought they were just going to pop the fuck out when I told her that they used pugilist. And she was like, how the fuck did they use pugilist in, like she was almost like calling bullshit. Yeah. Like give me context. And
now use pugilist in a sentence.
Yeah, and like she looked it up because we got into a tiny argument about like what it actually meant, because she wanted to say, like, it's a, like, doesn't it mean boxer? And I'm like, I think it means fighter. We're both right. Like, it, like, one is like, it's a professional boxer, and the other is like, it's a fighter. And it's like, and I'm like, how do you spell this? Like, I've never seen it written out. And it's like,
You used to only ever hear it in the context of boxing.
yeah,
And I think part of that was a way to make boxing sound more highbrow.
other than the
Right.
punch fight,
Yeah.
you're a face puncher.
Which, I don't know. Punch fighter? That's pretty good. I think that's good. I think punch fighter's good. I think they should, yeah. Fuck boxing, it's punch fighting.
Punchlist.
I'd watch punch fighting. Boxing? Everyone knows it's a boring sport. You turn into punch fighting, and they're punch fighters.
A master face slapper.
And you gotta change all those weight classes. They're all ridiculous.
I
You just need like big guy, bigger guy, biggest guy. Those should be your weight classes.
You're a doctor of huge man guy fighting.
Huge guy, massive guy,
Super
boy.
sized.
chonker,
Big chungus.
big chungus.
Is that you get the big chungus belt if you're the
Big
champion?
chungus belt in punch fighting.
I feel like these are sports in idiocracy.
I mean, that's what boxing would turn into, just punch fighting.
President Camacho, the chungus belt haver.
Champion punch fighter. And there are no rules or anything, they just wail on each other until somebody can't stand up. Oh, I'm getting I got
Oh,
clobbered.
you gonna die.
I never get to my dull pain in time.
I might have to. I'm just gonna jump back and kiss myself. I'll get you in just a minute. So NPR using their big words like that just bugs me. The other one was they got to talking about how there was recently it was the first like spacewalk by like non-astronauts, and
Yeah, a whole bunch of it gives a fuck, but yeah.
yeah, but
It was news anyway.
it was news anyway, and the way they were talking about it was they were talking about the safety kind of stats of I guess the likelihood of dying in space, that there's like, based on the number of accidents that have occurred during like takeoff and re-entry, that there's like a 3% likelihood of dying. And I don't even know how accurate that is, because like some of those were like NASA, some of these were like governmental, and I feel like lumping that in with like the private sector is a little bit misleading almost.
Yeah, you're talking about a really, really small
Yes.
sample size.
Yeah, but they went with like, you know, a 3% likelihood of like dying.
Yeah.
And they were doing it in the context of like the more we do space travel, it's more likely that people are going to die. And my knee-jerk reaction was, but we're just going to lose the rich people.
It's going to be billionaires, right? They're going to
like, we're going to, yeah, they're
do
going to,
their Titan sub maneuvers, and
that's what's going to happen. It's going to be yeah. But, you know, this being NPR, they're going to be like, oh no, not Jeff Bezos.
yeah,
Like,
one of our vaunted saviors.
like it's going to be Elon Musk. Like, he desperately wants to go to Mars. So I say, let him go. in the key of Elsa. You know,
Then put them on the rocket. Let's go.
let's go.
No time to waste. Yeah, that's a whole thing. I was gonna say I have a whole series of thoughts on, but I really just have one thought, which is that like space exploration is kind of like, I don't know, in many ways one of the most noble things that human beings have ever done.
I agree.
And it's something that, like, you look at NASA, and like NASA is kind of unequivocally one of the good things that the United States government has done, that people all over the world can point to and be like, yes, NASA is good.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I agree with that.
Asterisks next to it. It's like, but they sometimes drop orbital bombs on people. Right? No, it's like they go into space, they grow algae, they do stuff, they do science.
Like we got Velcro and Tang. I mean,
yeah. Yeah, it's all very, it's in that kind of spirit of exploration and learning things, and
yeah,
great. So like to see that ground kind of eagerly being ceded to capitalist scumbags, I find extremely disheartening.
Yes.
It just being put up on the privatization chopping block. It's one of the most dispiriting things.
That it bothers my Star Trek sensibilities.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like Elon Musk fanboys that defend his contribution of money towards a thing that he thinks that is cool because he thinks he's gonna get up there. And I mean, he could go tomorrow if he wanted to, but I doubt it's safe enough. Like,
oh yeah.
Like, I don't know if he's been to space or not.
Oh, I actually don't know.
Like, what? I mean, Jeff Bezos beat him there, is my understanding.
Yeah.
But like, yet Elon has an entire company devoted to go into space. Yes.
Yeah.
And how come for he no go?
I think if he's not already, very soon he is going to be in no physical condition to go to space. Like, it will be simply physically too risky or possibly impossible for him to actually endure the rigors of a space launch.
But so what you're saying is he should go right now.
He should go right now. Yeah,
like
he should
right
drop
now.
What he's doing. He should get the fuck off Twitter.
I'm sorry, it's
posting.
X. It's called X.
I stubbornly refuse.
Yes, I know. I'm there with you.
I will not do it. Non serviam. I will not serve. He paid $44 billion for it. I'm still going to call it Twitter. But it needs to get off the internet.
Yes.
Stop roasting his brain with memes. Strap his ass into a rocket and vanish.
And GTFO.
And let gravity claim him. Let the implacable physical forces of the universe do for us what we lack the courage to do. Just to tell him to fuck off.
I think your attitude is why you're not allowed on X anymore.
Yeah, I did get banned.
Were you perma-banned or just like partially banned?
I was permanently suspended.
Oh man.
Because when him and Zuckerberg were talking about having their little man-baby slap fight.
Their face punching tournament.
Face punch tournament.
I
said something to the
who's
effect
the
of,
big chungus?
To find out who's the biggest chungus. Which weird-looking guy, which weird-looking person will be the champion. I said something to the effect of, "We all really would just be happier to watch them get hit by a truck." I like to think I was personally ban-hammered for that, but
that he knows.
yeah.
Okay.
Because I mean, yeah, you know, he's watching for mentions of his name. Everybody knows that.
He's just
He's
waiting
right
for the
to the
opportunity to
phone.
use the word pugilist.
In between doses of ketamine, he's looking for opportunities to post nonsense on the internet.
To put in his 2 cents about the great replacement theory.
Yeah. Or about whether or not the Jews control everything, which everyone just seems kind of to have forgotten.
Oh God.
Forgotten his anti-Semitism, but okay, that's fine.
Oh God.
But yeah, the privatization of space is a thing that I see with a large amount of sorrow.
That bug, yeah,
because I see no benefit in it. Stop. What? Get down here. I mean, because we had perfectly fine launch vehicles that worked.
Like,
what was the problem exactly? The problem was that it was not in private hands. That was the problem.
Yes.
And now they're fixing that problem.
Yes. Did they ever get those people out of space that were stranded?
Not that I've heard.
Are they still up there?
I think they're still up there, yeah.
Are they going to have to hitch a ride with the Ruskies?
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. I know the Boeing Starliner, they decided wasn't suitable. Because, Boeing can't do fucking anything right.
Oh, God, Boeing?
Because they've turned into a trash heap. Oh, yeah, they're out there trying to get their slice of the pie. The pie being our tax dollars. They used to just go directly to NASA. But now it goes to people's friends and donors and cronies.
Oh,
so that they can reinvent the fucking rocket. We used to have the Saturn V, most powerful rocket ever built. We decommissioned it.
What's that one, like, jet that we still can't, like, get working?
Oh, God, there have been a couple of those. I
But
think the F-35 was
is
the
that
last
the one? Yeah, okay.
I think so. Before that, it was the F-22.
Okay.
Where the stealth paint would come off in the rain. But yeah, the F-35 is another big boondoggle.
I'm on X. Sounds bad. I agree.
Yeah, I'm on X. I'm on X all the time.
I'm on X right now.
I get X on my phone.
I just feel like I'm coming. I'm coming.
Yeah. I can be on X on the toilet. I can be on X at work. I can be on X anywhere.
I mean, there was a point. There was a point in time where I didn't know what to think about Elon Musk, and you're about to die.
I think everybody can. I'm always so. I run it too close.
You're edging your moment of glory or whatever. Oh, that's a.
Edging.
That's the
edge on X.
Don't you dare. I know it was before he bought X that I was firmly in the this is a dullard.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I think I started to formulate that opinion around the time of the pedo guy incident.
Ooh, oh yes, that was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when it was
okay.
like, oh, I don't think this asshole knows what he's talking about.
Yeah,
I think he might just be an asshole
yeah,
because he proposed some stupid sub idea, and they were all like, no, that won't work, and he was mad about it.
yeah.
He
Okay.
was mad that his harebrained scheme was rejected by the professionals who knew what they were doing,
What are you talking about?
who had executed similar cave rescues in the past.
You mean the people who think conventionally and not the forward-thinking geniuses who think outside the box? Oh God, I'm trying to think of some other like intellectual dark web jargon.
God, and
The
disruptors.
the disruptors, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're going to disrupt. Who's going to disrupt cave rescue? Got to break up big cave rescue.
God.
Somebody's out there plotting to disrupt food production right now, and it's going to kill like 4 billion people probably.
Are you just talking about the people? What, Kroger? I think that's Kroger.
They're going to announce that they figured out how to use cutting-edge AI to produce and distribute our food, and it's going to lead to mass starvation.
I want to.
Get trillions in tax dollars to execute it.
Okay, here's a Kroger gripe. Do you ever go to Kroger?
Yeah.
Okay. They've changed the U scans, right? They're more annoying, right?
I'm trying, because they definitely did change them at a point, and I found them frustrating. I don't know if they've changed them again since.
Because, okay,
I mean, I've been there recently enough, I guess. Yeah.
I used to work for Kroger. I worked for Kroger for 7 years, and I loved going through the U-Scan because, like, I would, get something, buy something at Kroger, heat it up in a microwave, and then I would eat. And it was just the quickest and easiest thing. So I've always liked the U-Scan, but like in the last year and a half, something like that, the U-Scan is more like just a noisy, irritating thing that you interact with. Like, be sure and scan all your items. Like, it assumes that you are shoplifting,
Oh,
and it's doing like irritating reminders to just be annoying. And also, I think it is a verbal indicator that the one person who is like running 6 checkouts at the same time, I think it's like almost like this like cue that they're supposed to be like listening for too.
yeah, probably.
Like there's that. And like, if it thinks that, like, particularly where I live, they will basically go, we're recording you right now. Like, I've had that happen. Like, I'm paraphrasing. Like, be sure to scan scan all your items, and it's like, please scan the last item that you placed in the bag, and then it's like the screen shifts to me being recorded and it trying to get a bead on my face.
Oh,
So
I've
we
seen
can
that other places.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that at Kroger yet, but
Okay, but
I don't know. They've been doing a lot of like remodeling and shit for the Krogers
Yes.
here in town. They've been having a lot of grand openings, despite the fact that they are open.
Yes.
Already?
The grand yes. We had some of that where we're at too.
Okay. So maybe they're implementing some of that stuff.
I think they're trying to do a little bit of a rebrand because of that deal with wherever didn't go through or hasn't gone through yet. Is this guy just going to heal all the way back up?
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Hit
But I've
the
definitely
pause
seen that in
button.
other places. Meyer was really bad about their stupid machines not registering something, and then bringing up the spy cam and an associate having to come over.
Yes.
And I always, I'm always very resentful of that.
Yes. It's like I don't want my U-scan to, behave like a cop.
Oh yeah,
Like it's assuming that I'm shoplifting.
yeah,
Because then it makes me want to shoplift.
right. It's like, well, if you're going to assume that I'm a thief, maybe I should just be one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find it exceptionally poor customer service
Yes.
to accuse your customers of being thieves, but
Yes.
I guess they figure they have us all over a barrel.
Yeah. Where else are you going to
They
go?
can treat us, they can treat us however they want. Until ChatGPT can make me a sandwich.
Without putting glue in it.
Yeah, I was going to say that may or may not have glue in it. Put glue on your sandwich to bind its components together.
Because that's another thing that I like. After I take the youngest, I'll stop by Kroger and like get some stuff because it's near where her kindergarten is, and so like the last time one of the last times in there I was like, man, the U-scan is just being an asshole, and you can't turn them off anymore. You can't turn you can't turn robot lady off anymore, and then I asked Jess. I was like, the U-scans at Kroger have gotten worse. Yeah, they're just, and she was like, yeah, like just immediately, something that we had not talked about before, but she immediately was like, I've had that thought too.
Yeah.
So okay. And it pains me, because it was one of those things that when I worked at Kroger, like particularly the culture at the Kroger that I worked at, they were very much like, we do customer service. There was a big a big push for being helpful and that kind of stuff, and not being Walmart.
Yeah.
Because Walmart was very much the devil. Do I have a small child at my door? What do y'all need? Okay. Can you have rice? You're gonna have to get it yourself, okay? Okay. All right. This needs to be sealed, okay? Because the tortillas are not gonna be fit to eat. Okay. All right. Go. Have fun. Eat your food. Daddy has to punch people. Badly, apparently. All right, parenting success. I mean, it's a real shitty thing to kind of like assume that someone is this fucker is shoplifting.
Oh yeah.
And it just fits into that whole like crime narrative. We have to cut back the number of pharmacists we have, and oh god, the pharmacy at Kroger fucking sucks. Jesus
and everything
Christ.
has to get shittier.
It just has to. Yeah, it's the in-shitification of not only the internet but also like where you actually go tangentially or like tangentially.
It was inevitable as shitification leaks out into the real world.
Now don't you be dying. Okay, there you go.
God, I'm not playing it so close to the edge.
Oh God. All right. Can you just pick her up?
I really wish. Put her in a pocket.
Well, what else can we bitch about? Brr. I could be positive and talk about movies that I've watched recently that I've liked
Oh yeah.
instead
that's
of I don't know, complaining about depictions of the Confederacy and Tromaville-like movies. Have you seen, what is it? Have you seen Your Next?
Oh no, I haven't.
Okay.
I keep meaning to though. It's been on.
That is a good one.
All right.
Yeah, Your Next. It is. It's a little subversive. I mean, things are not as they appear, and I really enjoy that movie. And each time that I've watched it, now knowing like what happens, you notice some kind of subtle things once you know what's actually going on. Like if you watch it again, and
It's always fun.
yeah, I tried to get Jess to watch it, but she was just like no. But then I told her what was going on, and then she seemed more interested in it, even though she didn't watch it. Ready or Not. Have you seen that?
No,
Okay, it's
but I also know of it.
you know of it. It's got Samara Weaving in it,
Right.
who is totally not Margot Robbie.
I'm not gonna lie. There are times I can't tell them apart.
I assume all Australian women just look like that.
Yeah, those Aussies.
Yeah. That's all. Yeah, it's a pretty good movie. It's a little bit more straightforward. It's more like it's more of a comedy, even though like Your Next has some funny bits in it. They're both pretty action-y. I like both of them. I think they're off Tubi now,
Okay.
but very much recommend both of them. Video games made me do it. That is, oh, destroy books for television. This is the badge quest. Here we go. Over there. And what's something else? The Belko Experiment.
Oh yeah, which is another one that I haven't seen
It is.
that I know of. Yeah.
It was written by James Gunn, and I think it would be a movie that it would have been a bigger hit if he'd directed it. I don't think the person did a bad job of directing it, but it would have, it would have been, probably considered like a classic or something. It would have been, like something like, I don't know, Slither or something. But I watched that again a couple days ago, and I very much dug it. I had seen it before. I had seen all of these movies before, but they were on Tubi, and I was like, "Hey, I want to watch them again." It'd been a little bit of time passing, but Belko, I really liked it,
Okay.
and and again, it just kind of goes into the I really want to talk politics with James Gunn. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, I don't know, like, I assume, like, if you watch the trailer of any of these, you would kind of get what's going on. But
yeah, I know the basic premise.
okay, yeah,
Yeah,
okay, so yeah, and that's kind of all you need to know. That, like, you know, a ultra violent experiment takes place in like an office, and and I really dug it, and
you could set up.
it's got a good setup. Like, I'm trying to think. Like basically, they're supposed to kill their coworkers, or like more people will die. So it kind of it's basically like, I guess, the Hunger Games meets I don't know, like
Human resources.
yes. So and it's one of those things where I feel like it's set up well. People, like, in all of the movies, people behave like people, which is one of the things that I really do like, when people behave like people, even if they are in like an outlandish or, you know, horrible situation, something that's very much outside of the norm. But at the same time, you have this horrible situation that when you depict it in film, it looks like it could be ripped out of the headlines with regards to certain types of violence that happen only in this country, oddly enough. Weirdly, yeah, when you depict that on film, everything just looks like a mass shooting. And I don't even necessarily think that's by design. I think that's just kind of what that looks like.
Yeah.
And yeah. and there's one guy, like, I like the cast of the Belko Experiment, because there's a bunch of, like, James Gunn people, like Polka Dot Man's in it, and Michael Rooker's in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those regulars.
Yeah, he's got some of his regulars in there, but also I'm blanking on the name of the actor, but he was like the killer in Ghost with Patrick Swayze. Like, I think he was the one who was like the boyfriend that was the actual killer. Spoiler on Ghost if you haven't seen it, anybody. But
I mean, it's an old movie.
But he's like that guy. He's like one of those people, like, who's been in acting forever.
Okay.
Mostly as bad corporate white guy. And he plays one of, like, the managers, and he just does a really good job. And he really reminded me of an amalgamation of some people that I used to work for at Kroger.
Of certain types. Yeah.
Certain types. Yeah. And where'd you go, yo?
I went up some stairs.
You want some stairs? Okay, I'm coming.
Maybe.
Yes. I'm invisible. They can't see me. So, yeah.
All right, I see you.
Oh, no. The cop robot probably sees me, too. I can't remember if the drones can see me. I think they can. All right, I'm over here by some books. Where are you at? Oh, I'm ahead of you.
Yeah, I kind of came up behind you.
All right, I'm
fighting some cops.
Oh, no. Gonna have to put more money into the police budget. I can only imagine what the Paragon City police budget looks like. Is it just an infinity symbol?
Well, it's got to be ridiculous. Yeah.
It's $1 trillion.
Oh, for sure. That's where most of their tax money goes, probably.
That and their wall to keep Hamilton out.
Hey guys, can I smash up this box?
Oh, something else. I watched. Like I don't know if you remember. There's a YouTube channel that I've talked about before, Atun Shea, and he's the dude who does like those Civil War. He does Civil War videos, and they're pretty entertaining. He made the dude who runs the YouTube channel. He made a horror movie that it's what is it called? And it was on Tubi, and I was kind of surprised to find it on Tubi because I did want to watch the movie. It's called the Sudbury Devil.
Oh.
And it's like I guess it's like the 1600s, and takes place in, I guess, like wherever the fuck the colonies were, like in like around Boston, and so it's a period film, kind of like The Witch. I assume you've watched The Witch.
Oh yeah.
Okay. It's like, it's very similar to that. Overly religious people seeing ghosts everywhere, and Satan.
Okay.
And for like, I mean, this is very much an indie film, and I ended up really digging it.
Yeah.
So I do recommend it.
Okay.
Based on some of his videos that he's put on his channel, like I can see what he was influenced by. Like there's some Ravenous, and like I think The Witch was also something he was pulling from. So it actually turned out to be it turned out to be a pretty good movie. Like it was maybe a little slow the first 15 minutes or so. That was a little like getting used to the period dialect and the shitty streaming audio quality, but other than that, I mean, by the end I was really into it. So
I'm up there, I guess.
well, fuck that guy. You get lightning bolt. I also watched Underwater, which
I've been meaning to watch that.
okay, I enjoyed it. I kind of kept forgetting that it was a thing, and I don't know if it is part of the Cloverfield mythos. I don't know.
I don't think so, but I don't know.
Okay, all right. Well, we just got. Did you just get the couch potato badge?
Yes.
Okay, we are now couch potatoes. Yay! Which is a badge you need for an accolade. I forget which one, but I don't know. Maybe one of the good ones. I don't know. Because some of them will give extra health and endurance. But Underwater, I also recommend that. It might come off a little bit too strong, but I ended up digging it. So that is another recommendation to add to your, I don't know, your horror movie homework.
Just add it to my list of. I mean, it's already on the list. But
It's on the list. Okay. All
a
right.
massive list of movies I need to watch.
Yes. Have you seen Buckaroo Banzai?
Oh God, not in a long time.
Okay, but you have witnessed the insanity that is Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah, and it's something I keep meaning to rewatch. Because
Okay.
I'm like, I need to see this
Okay, so
as an adult.
yes. Buckaroo Banzai is a movie that I watched as a kid, and I did not get it. And I need what's another mission? What can we do? Well, fuck. All right, trying to think of where's a do I have a tip mission or something just to keep the ball rolling? Why am I clicking on my map? Tips. You want to do a paper mission or something?
I don't see why not.
All right, we'll do missing millionaire. No. All right. We'll steal a corpse apparently. Crap. Come on. Mission.
And I can keep the skull.
There you go. There we go. Is that the only mission I have? Anyway, but like Buckaroo Banzai, me and Jess have been we were meaning to watch it for like the longest time because like it's got Jeff Goldblum in there, and Clancy Brown, like baby versions of like of these people, and she like it was getting ready to go out of Tubi, and she watched the trailer, and she was like, "This should be like a movie that I that she really likes," and because she's fallen asleep in watching it. Because I watched it a few years back and she just fell asleep through it or whatever. This time she did not fall asleep, but she did not like it.
Okay.
According to her, it was just too much. Too silly. Because for those of you...
that, from what I remember.
So Buckaroo... RoboCop plays Buckaroo Banzai. And he is a world famous neurosurgeon, a world renowned physicist, a musician, and also like a superhero. And
yeah, he's like one of those pulp heroes.
On like all
Only
of them
for, like,
put
a
together.
different age. Yeah.
So he's like if Batman was also James Bond.
Yeah.
And also like the main Beatle.
Yeah.
And he is he is
Like
supposed
if Doc
to
Savage were a rock star or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be biracial, which which one of those things that you wouldn't get by with today. Yeah. Like he's supposed to be like, his dad Japanese and mom like American white lady. And it's just like it's like it's like Peter Weller does not look Asian in the least.
No.
And that's just I don't know. That was just kind of like an amazing thing. Like 1984 America like was just totally okay with that. I guess that's like David Carradine playing a Chinese man in Kung Fu the Legend Continues or whatever, Kung Fu and then Kung Fu Legend Continues. That's amazing. That's a thing that happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is the most comic book movie ever, except for not actually being like a proper like DC or Marvel property.
Yeah.
And I ended up really liking it. It has a very dry sense of humor, and it is super silly, but I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it.
I very much recommend it.
One of those movies I think they were really convinced was going to be a hit.
Yes,
And it
because
wasn't. Like, I think they had a sequel planned out and everything.
yeah, there was
Never happened.
like it teased that there was going to be a sequel. Buckaroo Banzai versus the Crime Syndicate.
Yeah. I think they ended up they may have turned that into a novel or something.
They turned it into a novel
Years
because they couldn't deal with the rights somehow or something like that, because the studio went bankrupt when it was not a smash hit. But it's got a cult following like a bunch of other movies from the 80s.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things like that they could totally just recast that movie and and just I mean, particularly with like the 80s nostalgia that goes on right now. Like that would honestly I feel like that would be a pretty cool movie to occur, but apparently,
Yeah.
I guess it's in legal hell.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's just trapped in like rights limbo.
Like Friday the 13th, is that right?
That's
why
I mean, there's still legal action going on, but there was recently, I don't know, sort of a resolution to it.
Okay. Because that's why
there's still legal action going on.
That one video game took a shit, right? Because of
various,
yeah.
Yeah, which those developers are they're local.
Okay, yeah.
Which is a shame, but they had all kinds of stuff planned. Yeah, they had this whole big like Jason X thing they were going to do with a space map. But they weren't able to do it because the legal action put them in the situation where they couldn't do anything.
That's fucked up.
So they basically put the game into maintenance mode and started working on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game.
Okay.
It came out recently. Yeah, it was all a dispute over the producer and the writer of the first movie, that's also the same reason that those later, you get the Friday the 13th movies up until 8, and then after that they turn into Jason movies.
Like Child's Play and Chucky.
Yeah, a similar situation.
Yeah.
And that different parties own the rights to Friday the 13th versus rights to the character of Jason.
This is stupid.
It's very stupid.
This is so stupid. Yeah. This is so stupid, but it's the real world.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And that's why they did the remake of Friday the 13th in whatever fucking year that was, and why there hasn't been anything since.
Oh, the Rob Zombie versions? Or were they Rob? No, that's Halloween. That's Halloween, yes.
Yeah, which, so if you haven't seen those, they're pretty crummy.
They're on Shudder, and I was going to watch them.
It's one of the few cases where everyone is like, do not watch the director's cut of Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Oh dear. Like,
I'll
why?
Watch the director's cut. It's worse.
Oh dear.
It's a worse movie. The movie opens in the beginning. There's a really unnecessary and gratuitous rape scene.
Oh, good times. Thank you, Rob Zombie.
Really gets the movie off on a good foot. But yeah, just in general, like, it's one of those rare cases where people are like, yeah, don't watch the director's cut.
Okay.
The second one, he tries to do some kind of artsy-fartsy stuff. It's actually kind of interesting. Still not very good. Although Brad Dourif is in the movie.
Oh, okay. So is that the one redeeming quality here?
It is the one redeeming quality.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, they're less said about those, the better, really. Now, the Friday the 13th remake was just, I don't even know who did it. It was just kind of one of those. It happened. Nobody really gave a shit.
Okay.
I want to say like Jason like lived on like some rural weed farm or something. Something like that. Whatever, he kills people, nobody cared.
Don't come around Copperhead Road or whatever.
Yeah. And then I think it did well enough, but the whole rights situation by then was terminally fucked.
They've got the 8 Friday the 13th movies on Shudder, and I've not watched them as an adult, or in some cases not at all. And I'm gonna try to watch them, because usually for the month of October I try to watch a horror movie a day. That's kind of my personal, spooky
I know
season.
does that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
they're worth watching. It's in many ways a very consistent franchise. It has its ups and downs.
it gets zanier.
There's definitely a point in the franchise when you can tell that the MPAA had taken a particular disliking to the franchise. Because they weren't letting them get away with some things that other movies were able to get away with.
Okay.
To the point where there's a lot of effect from some of the later movies that just...
Is that 7?
7 especially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where there's a lot of gore stuff that just was cut. Because
Okay.
the MPAA had a hate boner for Friday the 13th.
Okay.
Maybe because they've been listening to Gene Siskel too much. I will say a little bit of a tangent. If you want a good time, get on YouTube and watch like some of those old Siskel and Ebert at the movies, like their roundups of like most hated movies, most hated movies of the year, because those are pretty fun. They're also fun little time capsules,
Huh.
especially when they bicker.
Okay. Like, do you have anything in mind, like something that he really hated?
They did do, if you can find the thing where they talk about horror movies, and they do have some special hate for Friday the 13th, while also addressing, I guess, the elephant in the room, which is that they both like Halloween, and them trying to explain why Halloween is good and these other movies are trash. It's just really interesting, because they do have a point of view, and I get what they're saying.
Okay.
But it is a little bit like kind of two old men.
Don't like
Kinda,
the movies.
What's society come to?
Mm.
These movies are horrible. I mean, Ebert in particular, like, the man has always hated violence against women in movies. That's
why,
something that he just can't get past.
That's why he didn't like Blue Velvet.
Yes, yeah.
Trick-or-treating is going on, Squid, in the video game, which we should do that.
Oh yeah, trick or treat.
Yes. Do you want to do some trick-or-treating?
I don't see why not.
Okay, all right. There's actually a good place to do some trick-or-treating. Let's finish this. Excuse me, I'm being paged. My daughter needs a booty wipe. I'll be right back. Good Lord. Oh.
That's why I just have a dog.
I've returned from my
Welcome back.
mission. All right. I do find it interesting, like, that I feel like all the movies from the 80s that I liked, like, Ebert didn't like them. Like, The Thing.
A lot of that.
I'm trying to think of some other stuff.
He thought it was too gory and too gross.
Yeah.
Another thing he hated was he didn't really like gore.
Okay. It's almost like a lot of movie criticism is based on your own personal taste and not actual objective fact.
Right, there is a lot of that.
Yeah.
They have a good fight once over which movie was worse, Cop and a Half or Benji the Hunted. And that's pretty funny.
I don't think
But
I'm familiar with either of the movies.
Yeah, Cop and a Half had Burt Reynolds. And for some reason, this little kid, like, he won't give up some information on a crime unless they let him become a cop for a day or something. So, like, Burt Reynolds has to, like, make this child his cop partner.
I do remember this movie. I remember it because it was like, you know, something that you could rent at Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And Benji the Hunted is just a Benji movie.
Okay. I've forgotten Benji exists.
Yeah, like the rest of the world.
Okay. We need a dark and gritty reboot of the Benji franchise.
Now launching the Benji-verse.
Don't say that. Somebody will do it.
Words have been spoken. They've been invoked. There's no taking them back. As always, pour one out for the Dark Universe.
The Dark Universe. Oh yeah, that's a thing that was supposed to happen, and then it
The whole
didn't.
big announcement. Yeah, they had a Twitter account for it, and they had that one post of like the cast picture that was obviously like composited, like none of those people were in the same room at the same time. And it was their announcement of the Dark Universe, and to date, it is the only post from that account. It's like a perfect little time capsule.
The Mummy.
Destroyed dreams.
The Mummy of the Dark Universe was really, really, really bad.
Yeah, I never saw it. I feel like I should just for bad movie fun, but
It's bad. It's really bad. It's one of those things where, like, I tried to fix it. Like, it was a movie that I was trying to fix.
that's where Russell Crowe shows up to create the Avengers, right?
Yes, Russell
The Monster
Crowe
Avengers.
is not Nick Fury. All right.
Why make your own cinematic universe when you can just rip off someone else's?
And the thing is, like, it's not a horrible idea. I mean, but the thing is, like, comic book writers got to that before, like with the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen or any other number of things that I can't think of off the top of my head. If you go to, how do you get there? Like, everybody's going to be trick-or-treating in this place called, like, in Cali Wharf, Callisti Wharf. How do you get there? If you go to the super group, you can get there. Like, go to the super group, and if you go through the teleporter, the mouth, the one in the middle, there will be, this one. Callisti Wharf.
Okay.
This is like a zone that both heroes and villains can get to. So there's going to be like just a big league of insanity. So
Oh yeah, I kind of remember.
yeah. All right, let me see if I can broadcast.
I'm just watching all these cars hit this crosswalk and then do a U-turn.
Oh, that is weird.
I'm gonna stand here so it's like I'm blocking traffic. They're like, nope.
Our treat league.
Oh, they're just driving in a circle.
Room for 2. See if I can't get us on an insane league.
Ooh.
If they can invite, like, yeah, they should be able to invite both of us. Should be able to. So basically, there's going to be like a league or like a group of teams that are just going around touching door handles and trying to get like trick or treat going on.
Sometimes monsters pour out.
And monsters pour out.
Yeah.
And they should be able to invite me
And get us both.
and get us both. Quit the team and like broadcast, like just get in the broadcast. Like, you know, can I get a invite to trick or treat league, or something like that in a room on trick or treat league, and we'll just see. Because it's there you go. There you go.
What? Great minds think alike.
What's this? These 3 cars are just stroking out.
They turn their headlights on though. Safety first.
Can I get in the middle and not get killed? There we go. Oh, this is the person from earlier. Okay. All right, I'm on a team. And they gotta cycle people around because the league is like 6 teams. All right. A bunch of people are asking. Let me know when you get on. Okay. And apparently this is just going to go on all month. People here just fighting who's it's.
Just knocking on doors.
Yes. There's a bunch of badges and so forth.
I got an invite.
You got an invite? Okay, just accept
Yeah.
it. All right. And you'll be. It doesn't really matter. We're just going to go, you know, touch doors.
Yeah.
There's going to be a massive amount of people. Let's see. And just go to one of the masses of people.
Look for all the green arrows.
Yes. And if you get a teleport, just accept it.
Yeah.
Just accept it. This is just, you know, ridiculous. So anyway. I think this is one of the like zones that they meant to put in the game, but like the game died and they got better. I think. I'm not entirely sure. All right, I'm over here in the mass. In one of the masses. There's badges for defeating monsters. There's badges for defeating giant monsters. For collecting like costumes. And then like every so often, I think it's like every 10 seconds you just touch a door. But I think it needs to be like a different door. I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
All right, I see you.
Over here just wailing on.
And there you go.
Whatnot.
And if you get, and this is also the way that you get the holiday salvage, to where you get like four of each, and you can turn it in to get like another costume slot for like, you know,
Okay.
other characters and so forth. So, yep. Do you have to tag the mobs, or does everyone get credit regardless? I honestly think everybody just kind of on the league gets credit unless I think, I'm not sure. So this is just a glorious mess.
There's particle effects everywhere.
Yes. I'm just getting badges and various incarnate XP. And I got a prismatic aether. Which, as far as I'm concerned, just, you know, money. Oh god, dear god, I'm a melee character doing this shit.
Here, I can see myself.
I can't find the door. Another door. Oh god. I do like games when they, you know, do holiday stuff, and I feel like the Halloween is always a, you know, that's a good one. It's very game friendly, and I just feel like this has gone more and more into just adding like spectral werewolves and various mummy and vampire lords, and
Yeah.
you know, we've got a mummy, and I got a badge. And I got a level. So
Got 2 badges so far.
I've got 2 badges. So alright. Well, what do you want to talk about now? Now that we can just mindlessly punch shit. What's your opinion? Like, something that I wanted, like, I have a bunch of Rob Zombie movies in my movie queue, and I'm going to have an opinion on whether I like him as a filmmaker.
You definitely will.
Okay, I'm going to have an opinion. Where did my little costume go? What did I get? All right, I got a Cyclops. I'm a Cyclops now. I got twice as tall. Because I've seen House of a Thousand Corpses, and I've seen Lords of Salem, and I haven't seen any of like the Halloween remakes, but they're on Shudder, so I'm gonna watch them.
May as well.
Yeah, so I'm gonna watch his. Oh God, I saw on Netflix there is a Munsters movie that he made.
Oh yeah.
It is god awful.
I
It
saw
is,
the trailer for it, and I was like, oh dear.
it is oh goddamn, like not good. It's not good.
I can appreciate him wanting to do a passion project like that,
Yes. Yeah.
and when allowing him to do it.
Yeah.
That's about as far as that goes for me.
It's
But I'm kind of like, good for you, man.
like I don't know if it's like the Filmmaker Wish Foundation or something like that, you know, a childhood dream come true, but it was really bad.
Yeah, you make enough movies that make enough money, and you get one.
You get a wish.
You get a wish.
Oh, I
Yeah.
got
It's like James Wan made $1 billion with Aquaman, so he got to make Malignant. Which, if you haven't seen that, that's something.
Okay, what was it?
Malignant.
Oh yes, yeah, we talked about Malignant. Yeah,
Okay, I thought so.
yeah, we've talked.
I actually
yeah.
really like it, but
I had my problems.
it's it's one of those that, yeah, I'm very much like, hey, good for you, man. You got to make this fucking crazy movie. Good for you. All it cost you was one Aquaman.
Honestly, Aquaman's not that bad of a movie. Like, it's actually,
No, Aquaman was fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't seen the sequel, but
I don't think anyone else did either, but
yeah.
DC Universe is too up in the air. People don't know where they stand. But
Eventually, they're going to make the Aquaman, and it'll be a much better movie.
probably.
Although I
There
don't
are too
think,
many Batmen. People are confused by all the Batmen.
although I don't think it worked for the Flash.
No. That's
which-
not from the same problem, because that came out right around the time that they're like, oh, all this shit's getting rebooted. So I think everybody was like, ooh, why should I care then? That and the controversy around what's his name?
Oh,
Ezra Miller.
yeah. Yeah, they're a ruffian. Like,
Yeah.
like a, I don't know if they were like a sex pest, but like there was a lot of stories of them just kind of, I don't know, attacking people or whatever.
Yeah, and there was some allegation of him, well, maybe running a cult in Hawaii or something.
That's
Maybe
okay,
Maybe
okay.
hold a woman against her will, or some kind of
Oh, that
supernatural thrall.
God. Turn that into a movie.
Yeah, right?
I don't understand how like some people get like, I don't know, this like can do crime power.
Yeah.
I don't understand. It's not like I want to do that. But it is kind of amazing the level of like out in the open like evil doing
Yeah.
that can occur. Just kind of like open secret like jokes
Yeah.
and so forth.
Yeah, so that people know about. And
Yeah.
then, like, one day it becomes illegal or two. And no one's entirely clear how that happened
Yeah.
when, like, everybody knew already.
It's like there'll be a joke about it in 30 Rock, but somehow that person's still
Yeah.
getting work.
So all that Bill Cosby stuff.
Like I feel like didn't 30 Rock make like a joke about the Nickelodeon feet stuff? Like
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
it's like that I can say
Yeah.
the statement, the Nickelodeon feet stuff. Like,
I
oh,
don't know what you're talking about, man.
yeah. It's like a special code. Maybe it's just because rich people are fucked up.
Yeah, they get that reptilian brain.
Like
They get that lizard person brain.
like when your bank account gets too many digits, something snaps in your brain.
The evil comes out.
And here just comes a bunch of monsters around the corner. Literal monsters, not like metaphorical billionaire monsters.
Yeah, like this arisen mummy here.
Like an actual mummy and a werewolf.
Mummy's alive.
God, fucking mummy's alive.
Oh, and a crone. I might have just been an old lady, guys. That might have been an oopsie.
I don't have fuck you money. Don't tell statesman.
Yeah, I haven't made money for anybody, so I don't get any protection.
This was non-sexualized violence. I didn't like look at her feet as I was punching her, so it's okay.
Hope no one finds out about my sex predator island that everyone already knows about.
Oh God.
But no one seems to care.
God. Reality, why you gotta be so monstrous? Alright, what can I turn into now? A carnival harlequin. I'll pass. I'm gonna stick with being a Cyclops. I don't want to dress up for Harley Quinn this year. There's gonna be way too much competition for Harley Quinn.
And everybody's doing it. So.
Everybody's doing it.
Old hat.
Do you have anything to report on the X-Men front? Have you read more X-Men?
I've gotten up to Extinction Agenda.
Okay.
Oh, I'm officially in the 90s now.
Extinction. I'm blanking.
It involves Genosha.
Oh, Cameron Hodge.
Cameron Hodge is going to show back up.
Okay.
Yeah. Hasn't yet, but yeah.
Okay.
I don't know the broad strokes of that one as well as I do some of the other story arcs, but
he made a deal. He made a deal with a demon, and now he's just ahead.
Yeah, and doesn't he get like the techno-organic virus at some point, or
he at one point he does. I don't think he gets it in that story, but eventually he becomes part of the Phalanx. But that's like years later.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I forgot he wanted Warlock because he didn't want to just be a head.
Which, speaking of Warlock, I need to catch up on X Factor to that point, because Extinction Agenda is across Uncanny X-Men, X Factor, and New Mutants.
Yes.
So I have decided, fuck it, I'll go back and I'll read kind of the highlights of New Mutants.
There you go. Yeah,
I never read New Mutants.
Okay. Yeah, it's good stuff.
And I've gotten to the point where Cable has shown up in Uncanny X-Men, and I'm kind of like, okay, well, New Mutants is about to end.
And become X-Force. It's around. It's close.
Yeah, it's very close. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to catch up on the New Mutants business.
Okay.
I'm actually enjoying New Mutants. Pretty well.
Did you read The Origin of Cannonball, American Colossus?
No, I don't think so.
I
know there was an Origin issue that's like not New Mutants proper.
Okay, yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
That I haven't read.
Okay,
and I didn't realize that until after I'd started, that their origins are actually in something else.
One moment, something I've been meaning to ask you, are you reading the annuals?
I read some of the annuals.
Okay,
But
yeah.
I'm thinking I probably should have been more diligent
Yes.
about
Yeah.
the annuals, because it seems like some pretty big things. Like, I need to read the long shot one where long shot appears.
Okay.
I haven't done that, but
Okay. Yeah,
yeah. So I need to go back and fill in some of those gaps.
there's too much X-Men stuff.
There is way too much X-Men stuff,
Yeah.
and it is a little bit of everywhere.
It is everywhere.
Because now I'm at the point in New Mutants where, like, yeah, some gaps in Uncanny X-Men are filling in.
Okay.
I'm not quite to Mutant Master yet in New Mutants.
Okay.
But, like, Warlock is there. And again, Chris Claremont's trying to do some Native American representation.
Trying, but tripping over some pan flute.
Yeah. Well, it's not my job to give him a pass on it. I'll instead just kind of be like, oh, man's trying.
I mean, I don't know, like the Demon Bear stuff is better than, like, I don't know, having Scalp Hunter or Warpath. I mean, it's like, I mean,
I thought the Demon Bear stuff was really good.
Yeah.
And that was around the time Bill Sienkiewicz was drawing for it. He had a very distinctive style, and I thought it really added a lot.
I'm blanking on him. Is he the one that did the, like, nice painting covers?
Yeah, for New Mutants, like the mid '80s.
Okay, yeah.
They all had those really interesting covers. And he drew through, like, the Legion stuff.
Okay.
There's kind of an interesting mix where you draw some characters fairly normal, but then, like, Legion is drawn very angular and very lanky and with this huge flat top.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's all very artistically interesting.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing some of that stuff, in the 90s and not liking it. But, like, now it's like, this is an adult with refined tastes. I'm like, oh, this is really interesting artwork.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. Yeah, we've got our Kentucky representation.
Yeah, it's
Cannonball.
But, like, the whole thing where it's like Surf getting in trouble on the job. Like, yeah, it just makes me feel like it's just Colossus. But at the same time, it totally works in a coal mining part of Kentucky. It totally works.
Yeah.
There's just too much X-Men stuff. There really is. There's so, and even talking to you, it's like just kind of coming back, and it's just.
I mean, it's sprawling.
It is all over the place.
Yeah. Did you read an issue recently where the New Mutants all decided to sneak out one night to go terrorize Empath?
Oh, the Hellions.
Yeah.
Because he's a prick.
Yeah. And they, like, drag him to Limbo, and they really kind of go sick house on him.
It's like the opposing fraternity.
Yeah. And they reach a point where they're kind of like, maybe we've gone too far. I don't know. I thought it was very interesting. Very satisfying.
Okay, all right. For bringing up Empath, I find it interesting that, like, you have telepathy, you have telekinesis, you have pyrokinesis, but, like, there are several, like, you'll have comic books say they will try to make some sort of like term for empathy.
Mm-hmm.
And you have several different characters who, like, the trading card will say they're an empath, but they all do something different because that's also not how the word works.
Right.
Like you have the character empath who makes people like him.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you have
I guess you could also make people hate him, but
okay.
he can generally manipulate people's emotions
Okay.
how he sees fit.
Okay.
Which again is something, it's like, well, can't a telepath do that? Whatever.
But
Can't
that's
have a
like
frost
it's his specialty.
Right.
But also Longshot is also, if I'm not mistaken, an empath, but his power is he can read objects.
Oh yeah.
Which
psychometry.
Yes, which is a totally different thing in various role-playing games.
Yeah. And then there's I don't know, Gambit is in X-Men now.
Oh,
And
he had a charm ability that totally just went away.
Yeah, I was like, do I remember that? I was like, I don't think I remember that.
Yes. Remy the Pretty is just too sexy for his shirt. It's too sexy it hurts. I totally forgot about that.
So yeah, it was something I'm like, is that like a mind control thing, or is it like an emotional manipulation? I don't know. Whatever, since it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's just there's too much. Like
Too much.
Yeah, and I feel like there's this caking on powers to where like certain characters are just like your half demon Ronin samurai in a Son of Wolf kind of a way.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like he's a thief. He's got agility, and he does the exploding pink energy into objects, but only inanimate objects.
Exploding green energy.
Do what?
It was exploding green energy, but only in his first appearance.
Oh, okay. I don't even remember that.
Interesting.
Okay.
And he threw like metal spikes.
Yeah, I do remember something like that. Just.
But then just a couple issues later, it was pink, and he's throwing a playing card at a guy. So I guess.
And didn't he charge it like there was this kind of thing where he would like look? He would hold it up and look at it.
Yeah, it looked like it came out of his eyes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
They didn't quite get the secret sauce right.
Yeah, it's this stuff develops.
Yeah.
It'd be a month between issues. You'd probably forget exactly what you saw anyway.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Canon schmanon.
It's fine.
I wonder if you can find somebody online who's like a Gambit purist. They liked it better when he had green energy coming out of his eyes and he was charging nails instead of playing cards or whatever.
Yeah, they ruined his character in his second appearance. He used to charge things with his eyes and it was green. He was good then.
Bring back original Gambit. Oh god, I want original recipe Gambit.
Regarding X-Men, I'm in the 90s now, and now Jim Lee is drawing.
Okay, yeah. So everybody's got 6-packs.
Everybody's got 6-packs. Yeah. All the ladies are supermodel physique and
Big hair.
big hair.
Yes.
Various states of undress as much as possible.
Yes.
Which was a trend I noticed with right before him with Mark Silvestri.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And I was kind of like, okay, we're getting into the point where, where the women are being drawn sexy.
Yes, we're sexing up them ladies.
We are sexing up. The X-Men are becoming the sexy men.
Yes.
But yeah, definitely. And then Jim Lee comes along and it's kind of like, okay, yeah, this is very much a thing. Which that transformation probably best encompassed in Rogue. Because if you compare like her later incarnation, her incarnation kind of around this time, versus her first appearance, very, very different.
Jim Lee is very much an ass man. Yeah. Yep.
Yup.
Oh, but continue.
But yeah, it's just, yeah, Rogue as a character has undergone many design permutations.
Yeah.
From her first appearance, as she slowly became more and more hot, I guess.
Well,
I mean, it.
I don't know how old she was when she joined.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Like, she wasn't like Kitty's age.
Right.
But, you know, she was still hanging out with her mother.
Yeah.
Which makes me think that she wasn't, you know, an adult.
Yeah. Pretty something like Jubilee is in the book now.
Okay.
And that's something, yeah, where I'm kind of like, okay, like clearly there's been some effort here to draw her to look age appropriate.
Not sexy child.
Right. She's not a sexy child.
That's great. The Shady Rogues approve.
Yeah. I'm reading it and I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, good.
Oh, God.
But sometimes you never know what you're going to get in
Yes.
the world.
Gotta please the libertarian X-Men fans.
Age of Consent denialists.
Oh, God.
Jubilee is also Valley Girl representation.
Oh, yeah, that is, yeah.
For the late 80s. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
She's doing the lingo and...
Okay, the mall rat. Yeah.
Mall rat.
Yeah. Yep.
I think right now she's just hanging out with Wolverine.
Okay. Yeah, Wolverine, who is like the guy who like shows the newbie the ropes.
Yeah.
Which, and that is an interesting thing to do.
Yeah, I think it works pretty well.
Yeah. It softens him. It gives him more of an excuse to not just murder someone in front of Nightcrawler and horrify him.
Snick.
Yeah.
This is just how it is, bub.
Yeah, hey, we gotta pop them claws, eh?
Yeah. I'm always imagining a Canadian accent when I read Wolverine. Canadian representation. Short king representation.
Yes. Like just a tiny little hairy man.
A little hairy muscle ball.
Yeah.
So apparently a crime lord on Madripoor or something.
Oh,
Everybody there knows it's
Matsuo? Is it? Yeah, that's when Wolverine is playing Patch, but I'm trying to think, because there's a bunch of different casts of characters that Wolverine gets in Madripoor. Like Tiger lady?
Yeah, Tiger. Yeah.
General Koi? There's like a... Not, like, I don't know. There's just a bunch of characters. And you can learn more about them if you read Wolverine's monthly magazine that's going on during this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More X stuff to keep track of.
Here, read more X-Men. Send more X-Men.
Marvel needs Bonnie.
Yes.
Print more X-Men. That's something that's just kind of continues to amaze me, is like during this period how X-Men was like on top of the world.
Yes.
And like stayed that way for a good long time. And then the Marvel movies come out and not completely drop off the face of the earth, but things changed.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's so interesting.
That really is. Yeah. Because the cinematic universe had to be built with C-listers, honestly, or B-listers at best, depending on how you categorize, Thor and Iron Man.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And no mutants allowed.
Yeah. Which there was fuckery at the corporate level of trying to replace mutants with Inhumans and
same deal around that time. They just put the Fantastic Four on ice.
Yeah.
They just put their comic on ice.
Yes. Yeah. Their flagship book.
Yeah. It's kind of fucked up, really.
That really is, and that's
Not just editorial fuckery, but corporate fuckery. Because I'm getting closer and closer to the time when Chris Claremont leaves.
Yeah, and I get I get because they just completely fucked up his plan for the X-Men.
Yeah, they did him dirty.
Yeah. Magneto's a villain now. Tough shit.
Yeah.
And
basically, they said Jim Lee was going to do all the plotting.
Oh dear.
And Claremont would just write the scripts.
That's unfortunate.
And needless to say, he did not like that.
Yeah.
So he wrote the first 3 issues of X-Men.
Yeah.
When they launched just X-Men and then bounced.
Yeah. Yeah, he talks about that in that Claremont documentary. Yeah, he totally... Because he meant for Xavier to die, and then Magneto just takes over the X-Men.
Yeah. And I think that's pretty clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I didn't already know what happened, I would have no expectation otherwise. Yeah. Which is interesting. Because in New Mutants, there's a whole lot of Magneto struggle. Which I do like.
Yeah.
Kind of struggling with the responsibility of running the school and also of not being a villain anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Emma Frost sicks the Avengers on him at one point, and he has to fight the Avengers, and he's trying not to hurt anybody. I mean, he's still kind of getting his ass kicked, but it's not like Super Magneto is.
Yeah,
it's holding back. It's he could be a lot more ruthless if he wanted to be, but he's trying. He's trying to convince him.
He's restrained. He's not just gonna wrap a metal beam around somebody and send him into orbit or whatever.
Yeah, and Warlock's hurt. He's trying to protect him.
In Cypher, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and
there's definitely a lot of.
Yeah, this is around the time of the kind of artist labor issues going around in Marvel, particularly with the formation of Image.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, I get that, comic books, the artists are very much part of the storytelling process.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you get like those rock star artists, Jim Lee,
Yeah.
praise be Todd McFarlane, paver of roads.
The paver of roads, Todd McFarlane.
Yeah. We're quoting a documentary that I watched, and he came off very, very, very prickish, and he was talking about, his tax dollars pave the roads, and I'm like, oh dears. And Rob Liefeld had a Levi's commercial. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
That's
had his Conan sword.
that's bananas too. Like,
Yeah, it's crazy.
there was something. Okay, there's something that I definitely want your take on it, and you're not quite there yet, but around Uncanny X-Men 300, I would like your take on what they do with Magneto.
Okay.
Because I have an idea in my noggin, but I don't want to say it because I don't want to poison the well. But if
No, I'll get there.
yeah, you'll get there with the stuff with like with the acolytes and
Oh, okay.
Fabian Quartet. Actually,
Yeah.
are
okay.
they do they call them when Fabian Cortez like shows up? Like, actually, you might have a take on it right now.
I don't remember it too well because that was kind of around the time like I was losing interest.
But have you read it
In
like
comic books?
recently? Like,
No.
okay, okay,
But you say it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I remember when that was happening.
okay.
But I don't remember exactly what happened.
Okay, so when you get there, I am very curious to see.
Is that when like he rebuilds Asteroid M?
Yeah, and there's
Okay.
yeah. I'm just kind of curious. I'm a
I'll get
Malta
there.
gunslinger. I'll be a gunslinger.
Yeah, I've gotten like 11 badges.
Yeah, there's so many badges. There's also like you get costumes and they gum up your power bar. The various salvages are good to have, so alts can get extra costume slots, and and you can. I mean, you can sell them too, or you can just put them in the base and hoard them or something. They're not bound to character. Aroo! Do you want to like a chat about like incarnate stuff?
Oh yeah, may as well.
Oh, okay.
I've looked at it.
You've looked at it. All right. While I'm standing here, I'll try to, because so if you click on powers, crap,
Yeah, incarnate
abilities, and in the create, I would really suggest to just look through this stuff at some point in time, and each slot is a different power, and you have to unlock them by getting XP. And during today, I just got my hybrid unlocked, which is the the very last one. There are 6 total. And, I guess whatever fits your theme, like, different things. Like the alpha is a passive. Destiny is a buff. Interface is another, like, passive thing that you do. Like I did adding a defense debuff to most damaging attacks. Lore is the pets. Judgment is the damage. And hybrid is like a buff that it's like a toggle buff, like an aura that you can do. And I would just kind of suggest looking through it, seeing whatever fits your theme or whatever. If you don't like it, you can always make another one, and you can unslot them in the slot. So it's kind of like you're making an enhancement tree, kind of, and then you equip them into the slot.
Okay.
And then I suggest you do the threads, and eventually when you get like your gear square, we can do like incarnate trials and so forth.
Okay.
So, do you have any questions about it, like off the bat, like, or do you have to look at it?
Yeah, I kind of have to look at it.
Okay, I got you.
It seems relatively straightforward.
Okay, it is complicated in the sense of like, there's a lot of jibber jabber, and like you got to get your flurping and your durkin and your flimity flams, and then you have to like get an orange flibbity flobby and then a purple one and that kind of stuff. Yeah. And like I find it helpful to like write some notes down, just so you don't have to like make the same decisions over and over again, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Particularly if you play different characters, or if you forget like what was I doing, what was I trying to do, that can be kind of irritating. Judgment is fun. Like I would suggest that one, or like maybe the lore pets are also fun for extra meat and so forth. With the incarnate stuff, I don't suggest doing any like convert this to this for millions of monies. Like don't do that. Like,
oh, okay.
Like don't spend any money. Like just
okay. Yeah. Just
convert like Imperium merit to something, or whatever, but don't like spend 100 bajillion million infamy on a flibbity floop. And where the fuck am I? Well, I'm just over here by myself. All right, I'm gonna try to level again, and then I'm gonna get off here.
Yeah, that's probably go ahead and call it.
Okay. Well, if you're gonna go ahead and call it, I'll go ahead and call it too. I'm just trying to. I'm gonna knock on one more door. Boop. Trick. Wah wah wah. All right. Well, thanks for hanging, Squid. I'm gonna find the button. I'm gonna stand here and leech up some XP for a moment. There it is. All right. Later, everybody.